Hey guys, welcome to my mom's channel. So today I decided to do a very special video for my mom. One second. Okay, so today is my mom's birthday, and I wanted to surprise her with this video. So today I decided to do this video because I wanted to top my gift from last year. And I was wondering, like, how can I top my gift from last year? Like, how can I top all the presents that I've given her, all the things that, that I've bought her and stuff like that. Most of those things that she didn't even ask for, but I just decided to get for her because it was just a gift I thought she would like. But this year, I decided to do something even better. I decided to give my mom this video and share with her my favorite memories of her. So guys, the first thing before we get started, I just want to say happy birthday, Mom, from your oldest daughter, Tia. I love you very much, and I hope that you feel my love through this video. So, and then subscribe to my mom's channel below. Okay, so right now we're gonna get started. So my very one of my favorite memories of my mom is when I first saw her cry. So when I first saw my mom cry, I'm gonna be honest, I know it shouldn't be a favorite memory. I know that's very weird. But when I first saw my mom cry, so I had always thought my mom was like a superhero. Like, she was always super strong. She always handled everything that came her way. She was always like be able to conquer it, and it looked like she would be able to conquer it without like a sweat or anything, right? So I always wanted to be like my mom, but I always thought, like, I cannot be like my mom because my mom's just so, like, nothing phases my mom. So then one day I walked in her room, right, after something had upsetted her. I walked in her room and she was sitting on her bed and she was crying. I shouldn't be smiling for this, but at that moment, I know I should have felt bad, but I felt really, well, not really good, but I felt good. Like, I think I was smiling on the inside. And it was because, number one, like, for my mom to be so strong, she never shows, like, when things bother her. You know what I mean? Even before that moment, she never showed anything bothered her. So to be able to see my mom and she letting her guard down around me, I felt like really special. And then I was able to see that even though she's like this strong person, that strong people do have their weak points. Strong people do break down sometimes. But that also taught me, I mean, she told me this a lot in life, that to keep going, you know. But I guess she's the perfect example that despite that you may have to cry sometimes behind the scenes, you know what I mean, you still are strong. And that made me think, like, I have a chance of being a strong woman like my mom. Like, I have a chance, you know, just because I break down and I cry sometimes, like, I still have a chance to be strong and be bold and be brave, you know. And even though I may have some weak points, like, I can still be a strong woman. So that was one of my favorite ones. I don't have a favorite, but these are my favorite memories. So then my second one is when I remember when she pulled me out of a rut. So I had been going through things like normal teenager stuff, you know what I mean? And I was trying to find myself. And you know how when kids, if you're watching, you know how when you're trying to find yourself, so you bump into a lot of walls, right? And one thing about me, I was very hard on myself, right? And my mom would always say, like, you're too hard on yourself, right? So something had happened and it completely just shattered me. Like, I was so frustrated with myself. I really did not like myself at that point. So I just decided just to, like, stay in my bed for a couple days, just miserable, honestly. And so I think on, like, the second day, like, it only took 2 days, guys, because I guess she just let me have my first day, but then by the second day she was done with it. So she came in, right? She didn't knock on the door, because, you know, parents, they don't knock, they don't do that. No. She opened the door. All I heard was the knob open and then the door being pushed back against the wall, right? And then she was like, get up. And she didn't really say it in like a mean way or anything like that. But it was like, it was in a caring way, but in a stern way. You know what I mean? And sometimes parents need, sometimes kids need that push in a stern way, but a loving way. So she told me to get up. And then she told me to start working toward what we're going to do next. Because my mom she's always been that way. She always tell me, I would want to get stuck on a situation. She'd be like, Tia, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. You made a mistake. You repented for it. You just got to keep going. So that was my second favorite one, because I will always remember that moment, because I remember that moment because that moment was a hard moment for me, and I carry that moment all the time. But every time I think back on that moment, I always remember how my mom came in my room and told me to get up, and she made me clean my room too. She told me to get up and clean your room. So she made me clean my room, and she encouraged me to keep going, because we all make mistakes and we all fall short sometimes. But as long as we keep going and see it through the end, then that's when we can really see our growth. And I'm glad she did. And I love you so much, Mom, for that. So, number 3, I remember when I surprised her for her birthday. Now, my mom hates surprises just like I do. We don't like surprises. Don't jump out of bushes on us. We might hit you with something. Don't walk around the corner. We might, you know what I mean? Don't surprise us at all. We don't like surprise parties. No. We just don't like surprises. But I decided secretly, well, with my dad's help, we decided to throw her a birthday party for her 50th birthday. Oh wait, no. We decided to throw her a birthday party, right? So I was playing it off, right? I even acted like people, my dad was calling me, but I acted like people from work was calling me, right? And she was just talking trash, oh, why do they keep calling you? Right? I was just playing it off, you guys, right? And I think my acting skills were pretty good, because she didn't catch on. So then, we get in the car, we head to the restaurant. She think we just having a girls' day or whatever. So then we get inside, and I keep walking back to the table, because I see the people at the table, and she's like, "What? You can't skip the line. You gotta wait." And then I said, "Come on, Mom, come on." And she's like, "What are you doing?" Right, looking around, right. And then when she saw everybody was there for her, and it was a surprise party, she was so shocked, guys. And I like that moment, because I felt like I was giving back to my mom. You know what I mean? I felt like I was doing something special for her, just as she had always done special things for me. You know what I mean? And even though she always talked about getting me back for that, I just appreciate that moment, because it gave her a chance to enjoy things. You know what I mean? Because, parents, moms, a lot of times they don't get to enjoy moments. A lot of times they're making moments for you to enjoy. So it was just good that I got to create a moment for my mom to enjoy, and create a moment where she could remember, and she was the center of attention, and she felt all the love, instead of always giving it out. So that was another one of my favorite memories. Number 4 is I remember when she was in the hospital. So my mom, when I was younger, she had to go to the hospital for thyroid, but she's perfectly healthy now, thank God. We're besties. We got a whole bunch of plans. She's good. I remember with that, when I was younger, my dad had dropped us off to my grandma's house, right? Because my mom had to go in the hospital. And they didn't want to tell us yet, because they didn't feel like we would understand. But I fully understood about where my mom was. So I remember that day. I even remember what my grandma's house looked like at that time, and how she was trying to cheer us up and make us smile, and telling us that mommy was okay. She just had to go to the doctors real quick. But I knew exactly where my mom was. But I remember that moment because I was like on the inside, like I was so not afraid, but I was so worried because I think about my mom, like she's been with me from the beginning all the way up to now. Like every day I've seen my mom. Every day I call her all the time. So when I couldn't have access to my mom, or I couldn't be close to my mom, or I couldn't come home from school, even when I was little, I would come home from school and she would be there. You know what I mean? When that was moment happened, I realized that I needed my mom in a lot of ways. And I realized that I depended on her to be there for me at all moments of my life. And it was really hard for me. She called us. I remember she called us and she told us that she was okay. And I felt a little bit better, but was happy when I finally got to see her. And I had always like hoped that she was okay. I remember I was hoping that she was okay. But I was the oldest sister, and my sister was really little. So even then, I felt like I had to, like, stay, like, hold it together for my sister. But my mom was constantly throughout my head that day, and I didn't even really get to play because I was so busy trying to think about my mom and if she was okay. But like that showed me how important that she really is to me, and that showed me like how important her what is it called? Her presence. How important her presence is. And how her presence will always be in my life. So that was another favorite memory. And I remember my first trip without my mom. So my dad had got invited to go and see his family in Washington, D.C., right? So me and my sister wanted to go because we had never been anywhere. So my mom was like, she decided not to go, right? And her and my brother decided not to go. So I think my brother was sick around that time, like with a cold or something. So they decided not to go. So we went up there. Oh my gosh, you guys. The whole time, from the drive up to get into the actual place, I didn't even really enjoy the tourist scene. I didn't enjoy anything because I was always wondering like what my mom was doing, what, you know what I mean, where she was at. I didn't really feel comfortable without her because I was so used to being near her because since birth my mom had always been there by my side. So I just felt like uncomfortable. I remember we would do tourist sites and I would be like, I wonder what my mom's doing, where is she going right now, I wonder does she miss us and stuff like that. And then not even by the end of the trip, by like the third day, I was ready to go home. I was ready to see my mom. I honestly wanted to skip the drive back home. Like if I could just flash back home to my mom, like I would have done that. And I just remember calling her and telling her, oh mom, that I miss you. I wish I was home right now. And she told me you should have never left. And of course she said that you shouldn't have never left. I told you not to go. I told you you wouldn't feel comfortable. But of course I wanted to try something new. But she still let me try something new. But she still told me that I should have never left. But it was so great to get back home. Because I remember as soon as I got home, like I ran in the house to see her. And she was so happy to see us. But like I just love my mom. I'm sorry. I just love my mom. And then number 6, I remember when she gave me her last. Okay, so one thing about my mom, like she makes sure that we're taken care of. Like that's one thing that my mom will always do, right? So I remember when the first time like she gave me the last that she had in her purse. I remember if anytime we ever wanted snacks from school, if we ever needed lunch money or anything like that, if my mom had it in her purse, she gave it to us. And I remember one time, right, I think it was to pay for a field trip or something like that. And it was the last day to pay for it. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, like, it's the last day to pay for the field trip. And I was on my way to school, and she was like, all of a sudden, we were sitting in front of the school because she dropped me off at that point to school, and she was like, here, take this. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to take that. And she was like, I'll figure it out. I'll make it work. And just in that moment, at first I didn't want to take it because, you know, I knew that was the last thing my mom had. But she gave it to me, and I got to go on my field trip, and we would often ask her for like money for snacks and stuff. So I remember one day I had asked her for like, I think a couple dollars for like snacks, and she told me, she was like, here, she had given it to me. She's like, that's my last, but I'll make sure, like, I'll work something out, like, I'll make it work. And at first I didn't want to take it because, like, I knew like what my mom, like, she would give us her last, like she's always done, right? But it's just at that moment, like, I saw like how much she loved us, and I know that's what a mother's supposed to do, right? But it's just, and she always made it work. She always, I don't know how she did it, but she always made it work. And she'll tell you that it was God, and it was God. But to a little kid, your mom is Houdini at this point. But sorry guys. But I always appreciated those moments because I knew that my mom would give me her last. Like, there's so many times that she given her the last that she had in her purse to me, my sister, and my brother. There's so many times where she would make dinner appear out of nowhere, or she would put something together. You know, oh Lord. And I just appreciate her so much for that. And I love her so much for that, for just the amount of love that she gives to us. And I just, even right now, I go hard for my mother just because of those moments like that. I go hard for my mother because she gives me all the love that I need. She gives me all the attention I need. She gives me all the things that I need whenever I need something. We always work it out together. And she's the best partner that God could have ever given me. She's the best gift that God could have ever given me. Like, y'all could ask God, because he would tell you all the time how I pray for my mom. I ask him to take care of her. I ask him to keep her, for me and my sister and my brother, but mostly for me, because he knows how much I need her, and how much I depend on her, and how much, you know, she's my partner in crime. And I always tell God that if he ever allows me to make it in life, ever, and not even make it, because I don't even have to really make it, but if he ever allows me to make enough money where I can take care of my mother, I would give the world to my mother. I'll make sure my mom has a need for nothing. That anything and everywhere she want to go, she'll go. Because she spent so many years taking care of me. She spent so many years making things happen for me, and making things appear for me, and helping me stand on my own 2 feet, that no matter what, if my mom calls, I'm there. If she needs something, I'll give it to her. Because I know I remember all these memories. I remember the times that she put in the work for all the things that I'm going to give to her. So I just want to say happy birthday to my mom, and that I love her so very much. And I'm glad that we enjoyed another year together. And I pray that next year is even better than this year. But I just want to let her know that she's the most important thing in my life. She's the most special thing that I've ever received. And I will forever be by her side.
Happy birthday, Mom. My favorite memory was when you took me to Red Lobster's for lunch because of my good grades and you pushed me to get them. And you pushed me to do better. Happy birthday, Mom. I love you.
Great. Happy birthday, Mom. You know. Let me stop. Happy birthday, Mom. You're really pretty. You're really nice. And you're a real one. You my dog. You're an MVP. And you don't look 51. Oh yeah, I love you. So guys, subscribe to her channel, like this, comment below. Go and love on your children, and children go and love on your parents, because there's nothing more or even greater than a mother's love, and that's really true. So I love you, Mom. Bye.